go to Hosea, the 2nd chapter. And we're going to look at verses 1 through 23 there. And for those who are just coming on with us, today's lesson is entitled Blueprint of a Healthy Relationship. Now, what we're talking about here, for those who are just coming on with us, is people have decided that they can have their own type of relationship with the Most High. That they can do things that's pleasing for them. That they can do it their way. But that's not what the Bible says. We have to understand that the Most High, through Christ, is the bridegroom, and Israel, us, is being the bride. But this is so important that you need to understand, and like I said, I'm not going to put the cart before the horses is, if that you're still calling yourself black, you're still calling yourself African American, you don't feel that it's necessary to follow the Old Testament, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And that's why we did the lesson last week. Well, was it last week or the week before? That what you can't see, what you don't see can hurt you. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. So we got that in the box. So make sure you check that out. That what you don't see can't hurt you. If you don't want to see and accept that you are Israel, if you don't want to accept and see that the Most High has called you to be a chosen people, you're going to continue to forsake what the Most High has told you to do because you think it is for somebody else. But I hope after the day that if you receive this lesson here today about a blueprint of a healthy relationship, that you will begin to look at your own relationship with the Most High, that you will begin to dissect it and break it down and say what areas need to be improved and what areas some of you are doing real well. There's some people that walk around with the Most High praying all day long. But it doesn't make a difference that if you're praying and not believing what you're praying for. Some people worship God all day long in their cars. They wake up to worship music. You worship Him, you praise Him. But you still got to believe. And then you still have to live it. So Hosea's here in the 2nd chapter of Hosea. He's going to be breaking down from a parable perspective of Israel as the bride and the Most High as the husband. And we're going to see how he feels about the decisions that are being made here. Give him verse 2 there, verse 1 there.
Say ye unto your brethren, and me unto your sisters Ruhamah, plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and let her adulterers from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst.
You see that? Now I know with some of the wording that it may seem a little hard to digest, but let me break it down to your layman terms. The Most High is calling, talking about Israel here, and saying, listen, I married you, and you are not being a wife unto me. You're not submitted unto me. You're not giving unto me. You're not pleasing me. You're not worshiping me. You're not doing what I have required of you to be as a wife. And you become a harlot, which means that you're out here cheating on me. The Most High says, so when you're doing anything outside of this word, the Most High considers you to be an adulterer. You understand? So anytime you're relying on other things to sustain you other than the Most High considers you cheating on Him. Anytime you're breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, He calls you harlot. Because He wants and demands for us to seek every form of substance, every form of correction, every form of direction from Him. And at any time, in any place, and in any situation that you're doing something that is not approved in this word, you're cheating on the Most High. That's the way He looks at it. Anything. Verse 4.
And when I will not have mercy upon her children, for they will be children of whores.
See, a lot of times, when we're producing children, we got baby mamas and baby daddies. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand me, okay? Yes, the Most High wants to take care of your family. He's not going to sit back and say, oh, you had this child out of wedlock, I'm not taking care of it. It's not what He's saying. So I'm going to make that clear, but this is what's happening. The Most High blessed the marriage to be the union in which the families are born and taken care of and developed. But what happens is when people are fornicating and you're having babies out of wedlock, many cases, many times, what is happening is you're having babies with someone you really wasn't supposed to. So now that's the constant conflict. That's the constant bickering, constant strife. The economic situation is not static. A lot of these women out here don't have to do everything for themselves. And because you're choosing to do it outside of what Most High parameters said for as bearing children, there's no mercy. There's no grace. It's not until you come out of that situation, bring yourself back into the fold, repent, and turn away. But what you see a lot of times is you have a person, women that get pregnant out of wedlock, the realization of open up into this man not being anything. They'll run to the church. They'll have the baby showers and people do all these things in the church. And then 2 years later, she's back pregnant again and not married. It's like a redundant, it's like it keeps going. And because you go to church and they're telling you, hey, you're in the grace. God forgives you. So you go right back to doing the same thing you was doing before. But if you start mirroring yourself and basing yourself based on what the Most High said is law, statutes, and commandments, you will see, okay, no, this is not acceptable. So read that for him again.
And when I will not have mercy upon her children, for they will be children of whores.
Mm-hmm.
For their mother had played the harlot. She had conceived them, have done shamefully, for she said, I will go after my lovers, that give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, mine oil and my drink.
See, what happens is, a lot of times is, in this world, it's the world that Satan has created. You can get money, man. You know? You can eat. You know? You can get a nice car. You can get a nice house. You can dress real nice, and you ain't never got to be submitted to the Most High day in your life. And this has had our people fooled because you go back in generations before. Now, I'm talking about just strictly Israel here, the so-called black man, the so-called African-American man. When you go back generations here, when our people first came off the slave plantations, predominantly, across the board, most people were poor, right? And those that began to seek the Most High began to have a lot of towns and communities that were developing, people were getting on their feet. And this is when you start seeing the growth and the expansion of our communities as far as economic-wise. But still, across the board, because a lot of people are still in the South, sharecropping, doing these things, working these jobs, and Esau won't pay them anything. Predominantly, most people were poor. But when you had the so-called civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s and the 70s, a lot of our people went and took these programs and took these opportunities that the government was giving, and they turned their back on church, they turned their back on the Bible, they turned their back on the Word, they turned their back on Christ. They're like, I'm going forth in my education. And so they got a decent job, they raised their children, doing decent, and then that child came out and they had a better job, and then they had children, and they got a better job. Now you got 3 generations of college graduates, pretty good jobs, lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs. And so, hey, doing sweet. And the only time you go to church is when you come back home from certain situations. Grandma say, come to church. You go on Mother's Day with your mama. Go on Father's Day with your daddy. But for the most part, the Most High has nothing to do with your life. So read that for him again.
For their mothers had played the harlot, that she conceived them, done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers, that give me bread and my water, my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink.
Yeah. They don't want to be. You don't want to be. You don't want to be the mother at the church no more. You want to be Cardi B. You understand? You don't want to be your local pastor no more. You want to be the pastor with the mega church. So you want to do anything you can do to get to that point. Our kids are not aspiring to be respectable jobs and respectable parts of the community because they don't see any blessing coming in that. And see, what I need you to understand is this is a double-fold curse that's going amongst our people. Because the people that are going to church every Sunday, that are trying to do right, that are trying to raise their families, most of them are struggling as a result of not following the law, not being aware that they're not black, and not actually fully investing in their relationship with the Most High. So you see those people over here going through that. Then you see the rest of our people thugging, drugging, mugging, hoeing, doing all this stuff, but they're eating. And you got children coming up in these communities looking at it like, listen, this dope over here riding clean, but the deacon over there need to ride to church. Who am I going to go with? You understand? So the perception of what our people are seeing is flawed, because Satan got us convinced that as long as you're doing this over here, hey, I'll make sure you'll eat good, bro. Then you turn on TBN, then you turn on Daystar, you turn on the Word Network, you turn on Impact, and these people tell you, listen, give your money and you're gonna be rich. Give your money and you're gonna be rich. Don't follow the law. Don't follow grace. Just you're in the grace. You understand? So you can't win for losing because you're being stretched here, lied there, lied there. Verse 6.
Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall that she shall not find her paths. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but they shall not be found them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now.
See that? And what happens is it takes life for our people to understand that we need the Most High. Somebody has to die. Somebody has to get sick. You have to have 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, and be at your wits' end, about to lose your house, about to lose your car, about to lose everything. Our men got to go to prison or be on the verge of going to prison, or just got out. You done turned 10 years, no opportunity. We have to be at the bottom until we realize, I'm going back to God, man. It's better there, man, you know. And it's a shame that we have to do that. And notice I'm saying we. It's a shame that we have to go through these situations to realize that the Most High was the best place to be from the beginning. But this is not what we're talking about here. A blueprint for a healthy relationship. Verse 8.
For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal.
Man, read that for him again, man.
For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal.
You see that? Everything you given to Satan, I the one gave it to you. Ladies, that beautiful body that you're putting out there for everybody to see so you can be the next Instagram star, I gave you that body. I gave you that beauty. And you're putting yourself out there for Satan to get money off of you. Bro, that talk game, that investment game, that leadership that I gave you that, but you're using it to sell dope and destroy your community. Read it for him again.
Well, she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal.
Everything you give unto Satan, you got to give it to me. You can't even serve Satan without me. Do you understand that you can't even sin without the Most High? How can you fornicate without strength in your body? How can you lie without the tongue and the ability to speak that the Most High give you? How can you run the streets without lungs to breathe that the Most High is breathing for you? So we do all these things for Satan and not realize that the Most High is doing it for us. Satan ain't doing nothing but lying to us. And we dedicate our whole lives to serving him and not even honor the Most High for anything. Blueprint for a healthy relationship. Verse 9.
Therefore will I return, and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. And I will discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand.
You see that? Now he's talking, when he's saying her, I need you to understand he's talking about Israel. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take back the food. I'm going to take back the corn. I'm going to take back the oil. I'm going to take back everything that you've been sacrificing to Satan for. I'm going to take your beauty. I'm going to take your body. I'm going to take your talk game. I'm going to take everything that you're using to promote things that are not of me. And I'm going to take my hand off you. And you're going to be exposed to the world. See all these people that are falling, all these people business that are coming out, all these pastors that are lying, and all these people that are molesting these children, and all these things that were just months ago, everybody revered them. Everybody said, I want to be them. But how many of you want to be them now? When the Most High done pull the covers back and everybody being exposed. And notice he said, and none of their lovers, none of your false gods, none of your Instagram followers, none of your Twitter followers, none of your Snapchat followers, none of them can help you when the Most High is exposing you. The same people that pumped you up are now the ones that are used for your downfall. Verse 11.
And I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts.
So that means now all your little holidays, all your Christmas and your Thanksgivings, your church, your Sunday church services, no joy, no peace in it anymore. No good times. Nothing. I'm ruining everything. I'm going to take away everything. Since you feel as if you can do this outside of me, I'm going to show you what life is outside of me. I'm going to show you when I walk. I'm going to show you when I step away. Verse 12.
And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees there, whereof she has said, these are my rewards, that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them.
Everything you got, every economic strand, every what did they call it, your stream of money, I'm drying up all of it. Your jobs, your investments, your land, all of it. Your sugar daddies, your sugar mamas, everything. Okay? I'm taking everything away. I'm going to show you how much these people, how much Satan, how much this world system, how much America really has for you. And this is why people are going through what they're going through, because we're relying on the American dream. We're relying on our education. We're relying on lies and social media and people, and they ain't doing nothing for us but lying to us. Verse 13.
And I will visit upon the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers, and forgot me, saith the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak comfortability unto her.
But the Most High with his loving self, right? See, that's the great thing about the Most High. See, once he corrects us, right? Once he shows us that he is a jealous God. Because you may be with me, right? And I may be jealous, but see, jealousy between man and woman is all based on insecurities, right? So when somebody is jealous of you, or jealous, or behaving jealously, it's because they're insecure. A man who knows that the woman is his, he's never insecure, never jealous. A woman who realizes that man loves her, she don't care what woman walks by, she's not going to be jealous. But see, when the Most High is jealous, he understands Satan, the world, education, no other man, no other woman, no other fallen God, no nothing can do for you what I can. So it's not about insecurity. It's strictly about what he knows he has to offer. And he knows they have nothing to offer. So when he brings you down to the bottom, then he gets you out there in that dry place, in that secret place. And he does what to you?
And speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her the vineyards from thence, and the valleys of a choir from a door of hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, as in the days when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
So Israel, what happens is to our people is, when he breaks us down, right? And put us in that place of despair, that place of hopelessness, and that place of there's no way that anything prosperous can come from it. Then he begins to prosper you. Then he begins to develop you. Then he begins to pour his love. Then he begins to pour his grace. Then he begins to pour his mercy. So when you're in that place and you're eating, you know ain't nobody did it but the Most High God. Nobody. Verse 16.
And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Esau, and shall call me no more Baal.
See, what that means is when he said Esau, that means my husband. And no more what?
And shall call me no more Baal.
That means you're not looking at him as a master anymore. You're not looking at him as the schoolmaster trying to correct you anymore. Now you're realizing you're married to the Most High God. So that's a different form of relationship. Because see, what happens is, it's just like any situation. You can be feeling as if everything is good. You can take people for granted. But it's not until when you go out there and you find out there's nobody out there that's going to do for you anything. There's nobody going to feed you. Nobody going to prepare for you. Nobody's going to take care of you. Only God. And so now you're looking at him with fear and awe. Now you're understanding how good he really is to you. Now you're understanding, I don't want nobody else but Christ. Blueprint of a healthy relationship. Verse 17.
For I will take away the names of Balaam out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day I will make a covenant with them for the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I'll break the bow of and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and I will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever.
Hold on.
Forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment, and in loving kindness and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. And it shall come to pass in that day I will hear, saith the Lord, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn and the wine and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow unto her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say unto them which are not my people, thou art my people.
What? You gonna say what?
I will say to them which were not my people, thou art my people, and they shall say, thou art my God.
So all you that are thinking that you're black and thinking that you're the cursed seed of Ham, that you thought you were my people, he gonna say what to you?
Thou art my people, and they shall say, thou art my God.
And thou art my God. Blueprint of a healthy relationship. See, once you get these titles off you, this black, African American, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Jamaican, Haitian, African, Indian, you get all this stuff off of us, Latinos, you get all these little titles and little names that Esau don't put up on us, and recognize that you are from the nation of Israel, that you're not black, that you're not African American, that you are from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel, you're going to know that you are the Most High beloved. Blueprint of a healthy relationship. Now, for the sake of time, let's go to Deuteronomy 8. Don't skip that next precept. Let's go to Deuteronomy 8.